Welcome to WNL Sports Weekly. I'm Jeremy Franklin. This week we'll speak with men's basketball head coach Adam Hutchinson, women's basketball senior Allison Sublett, and men's track and field captain Tyler Grant. But first, a quick look back on the weekend in Washington and Lee athletics. Both basketball teams split a pair of games in post-Thanksgiving tournaments. Out in Colorado Springs, the women defeated FDU Florham 68-58 before falling 68-48 to host Colorado College. And in Newport News, the men knocked off Wesley 88-81, but lost to Christopher Newport 76-66. I'm joined now by men's basketball coach Adam Hutchinson. Adam, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Your team covered over 2,000 miles during the first 2 weeks of the regular season. The Generals are 4-2 in the 6 games that they played. How pleased have you been with the results so far?
Pretty pleased. I'm pretty happy with the games we won and how we played. Not satisfied, but happy that some of the things we worked on were reflected in the games. Feel like we let one get away from us a little bit on Sunday. There's some circumstances to that, but it's still disappointing. So we got to bounce back and get back on track tonight.
WNL has now had 4 straight winning seasons, the best stretch for the program in about 2 decades. What's changed about the culture of Washington and Lee basketball since you've been on campus?
The easiest thing would probably be to tell a story. A couple of years ago, Will Smith and I were sitting down and we talked about what he needed to do to improve as a player. And he just flat out said, after all the work on this and get better at that, he said, I want to be a leader in the program and, I want to help the program move forward. And very often it's the coach who has to say that to the kid. And, Will and I had already talked about his individual stuff, and then he talked about how that was important to him. And I think you see more of that in recent years than in my first couple of years.
Will, of course, is one of your senior captains now. What will the Generals need to do to be competitive in the ODAC this season, as good as the league is from top to bottom?
It never really changes. You have to defend, you got to rebound, you got to take care of the ball. Those are the absolute minimums. If you do those things, you give yourself a chance to win. Beyond that, if you shoot the ball well, hit your free throws, then you're a pretty good team. We struggled with the defense at the end of last year and the free throws pretty much through the course of last year. We're looking for improvement in those specific areas, but you have to be consistent across the board in all of those every year in order to win in this league.
Within the next week, you'll take on Roanoke, Randolph, and Guilford before breaking for fall term exams. How important is this 3-game stretch for your team?
In some ways, it's critical. I'm mindful of the old adage, if you lose, you feel like you're never going to win again, and if you win, you feel like you never lose. And so, we lost our last time out, and, it makes you feel like you're in crisis mode. But there were some things that happened during that game that we have to shore up and address. We've been talking amongst ourselves about how what happens during the course of games is within our control. And, we have to fix those in these next couple of games. Certainly, Roanoke will exploit those issues if we don't. Certainly, Randolph and Guilford will exploit those issues if we don't show them up. So in a sense, it feels like this next 3 games is our season. And in a way it is. It's the last 3 games before exams. So that's how we're approaching it.
Adam, thanks for joining us. Best of luck the rest of the way.
All right. Thank you, Jeremy.
I'm joined now by Allison Sublett, senior women's basketball player from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Allison, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
I know that the team had a great preseason camp, but you've started the year 1-3. Have you and the team been disappointed with the first couple of weeks of the regular season?
Well, we've had kind of a rough start this season, as you said, 1-3, but we've had quite a few injuries already. And we're only a team of 9, so we're pretty small, so injuries hit us pretty hard. But we're still working out, the kinks in our offense and defense, just like every other team. So we're not too concerned with the 1-3 start. Not to mention 2 years ago when we won ODACs for the first time in the NCAA tournament, we went there. We started out 2-6. So if we learned anything through the season, it's been that, how you start a season doesn't necessarily determine how you'll end it.
You face the defending ODAC champions and the preseason conference favorites on Saturday when Randolph-Macon visits the Warner Center. What would a win over the Yellow Jackets mean to you and the team?
A win over Macon would be pretty huge, especially with our slow start, as we just said. Macon is always, good competition. They have been a good team for a long time. I feel like we have similar styles of play. They have good inside game, good outside game, and they're not really a running team, which we don't seem to run that much. So we match up pretty well, which makes for a good game. So a win at home would be huge, and I think it would give us the confidence to progress through the rest of the season and the ODAC with a winning record, and it'll just spark that, what we need to get going and start winning.
You walked onto the team during your sophomore year at W&L. Tell us how you ended up playing varsity basketball here.
Oh, well, I was playing intramurals my freshman year, and Meg Ingram and Caitlin Camp were actually reffing. And they started talking to me during a break about, why don't I play? Have I played before? And, after I talked to them, I contacted Coach King in the spring and just took off from there, and here I am. And it's been a great ride ever since. The team is great. I love all the girls, and couldn't ask for a better 3 years of college basketball.
The upperclassmen were part of the school's first ODAC women's basketball championship team in 2009-2010. The senior class can become the winningest class all time at W&L. What kind of expectations do you and your classmates have for your final season?
Well, to put it simply, we'd love to win. We've had a slow start, so we just want to start winning, and we'd love to repeat the ODAC championship. There was no greater feeling than cutting down those nets at the end of the game. But we'd love to be regular season ODAC champs too, have a winning record in our non-conference play, and make it to the NCAA tournament again. We went the first time 2 years ago, and we faced a tough opponent that year in CNU, so we got knocked off first round. But ever since, we've been talking about making it back and making it, further into the Sweet 16, Elite 8. So just another repeat of about 2 years ago would be great.
Allison, thanks for being here. Good luck against Randolph-Macon on Saturday.
Thank you for having me.
With me now is Tyler Grant, senior track and field captain from Sewanee, Georgia. Tyler, welcome back to the show.
Thanks.
Last year, W&L finished second in both the indoor and outdoor ODAC championship meets, the best showing for the team in nearly 2 decades. What made the 2010-2011 team so successful?
Yeah, we had a really successful season. I was really pleased with how everybody performed. I think we had a massive freshman class that came in, lots of talent. And we also, I think the coaches really made everyone aware of what our team goals are, which has always been to win a conference championship. And I think everyone was really dedicated to those goals throughout the season. So that contributed to our success.
How excited are you and the team to get back out there for the new season?
I think everyone's really excited so far. I mean, we have a meet this weekend at Liberty. I think a few people are doing a few different new things that they haven't tried before. I'm moving over from the decathlon to the 800, so I'm really excited to try that out for the first time essentially in my college career, see what happens.
After you go to Lynchburg for the Liberty kickoff this weekend, you don't have another scheduled event until a trip to Ohio in mid-January. How will you stay focused during so many long weeks of training?
It is tough. The coaches send us out a kind of a sheet of what we need to do over the break, and there's really not no accountability when it comes to that. But I think the coaches do a great job of telling what people are capable of doing and what the goals are for the team, like I mentioned. So people, if they have the willingness and the drive to be successful when it comes to the season, everyone knows that they got to put in the time this off season, or I guess not off season, but during the break, and hopes of achieving their goals in the end run. So I think everyone's passionate about those and really driven to succeed this season. So we're hoping to win. We got more guys coming in this freshman class and getting a larger and larger team, and I think that we can do some great things come the championship time.
What are your expectations for the Generals during the indoor season?
Expectations. I'd like to see, like I said, a lot of guys are trying a lot of different new events, so I'd like to see them achieve their personal goals when it comes to that. Like I said, our goal is always to win a championship. As it stands right now, Lynchburg has almost twice as many runners as we do, and so when you put twice as many runners in the events, you can earn points really easily that way. But as you can see from the past 3 seasons that I've been here, W&L has constantly moved up to where we're winning every event now. We just need more people to win the 2nd, 3rd, 4th spot and get those points, and then I think we're going to win a championship. So we're really excited about it. Everyone seems to be very committed this season. Everybody's getting stronger in the weight room and on the track, which both contribute to running performance. So we're really excited.
Tyler, thanks for being here. Good luck down at Liberty this weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
The men's and women's track and field teams open up their indoor season at the Liberty Kickoff on Friday and Saturday. The men's swimming team will also compete in a two-day invitational up in Gettysburg. On Saturday, wrestling participates in the Ohio Northern Invitational. Women's basketball plays host to Randolph-Macon in a Saturday afternoon matchup at the Warner Center, while men's basketball visits ODAC rival Randolph. And women's swimming will travel to Lancaster, Pennsylvania this weekend for the Franklin and Marshall Invitational. For WNL Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.